What are you doing right now? Watching a YouTube video? Other than the essentials like school or job, what else do you have planned for the rest of the day? Nothing, right? You're probably going to sit around, play a few games of League, watch a few episodes of that time I got reincarnated into whatever anime, play few more games of League, jerk off, take a shower, hopefully, and then play a few more games of League, right? What else you got going on for today? Nothing much. Now, I'm not very religious, much less Christian, but there's a famous saying that I really like: idle hands are the devil's workshop. Once you got nothing going on in your life, you start to become distracted with habits that feel good but ultimately don't move your life forward. Gaming being a huge example of this. People, especially younger men, spend hours and hours just toiling away in League because they can't think of anything else to do with their lives. And to make matters worse, they're probably some freeloader living in their parents' house with no concept of what cost of living is and how much money is required to simply just live these days. If that sounds like you, don't worry, I got you covered. In this video, we'll discuss why having too much time on your hands is breeding grounds for gaming addiction, and what things to focus your time on instead so you can still enjoy games while having a productive existence. If you guys are new here, my name is Raybees and I'm an ex-League of Legends addict trying to help people who are struggling with their relationship to League. I spent about 12 years addicted to this game, and so the videos I make are content that I wish I would have seen when I first started out in gaming. If that sounds like something you would like to see more of, do the usual YouTube stuff and like and subscribe. So why is having too much time on your hands a bad thing? Did you guys know that there are billions and billions of dollars being invested into monopolizing people's free time? You guys know that old adage of, if you don't chase your dreams, you'll end up helping someone chase theirs. While we're going to get into that in a little bit later into the video, here's a modern day variant of that. If you don't know what you're going to do with your time, others will tell you what to do with it instead. And gaming is one of the biggest vices around, especially for young men. I've already covered this topic in this video, but games are basically designed to find motherfuckers who are just stuck on their ass, just freeloading, and give them some sort of purpose in their lives. As humans, we're sort of built to suffer and endure. The reason for this is because of the vast majority of our existence, we've had to battle against nature as well as other neighboring tribes in order to find food, shelter, and procreate as a species. As a result, a lot of our physiological makeup is optimized to battle against hard conditions and find meaning and fulfillment in creating value. Because it was hard enough to live for most of our developed brain's history, it hasn't really evolved to accommodate high levels of pleasure. Think about it. If it's already hard enough to find food in the wild, think about what a delicacy it would be to run into a highly sugary, sweet food. If it's already hard enough to seduce a female without getting your head cut off by the rest of the males in the tribe that also want her, think about how crazy it is to have unlimited porn with the hottest girls around at the touch of a fingertip. Because life was so hard back then, our brain has evolved systems to let us know that certain things are good and beneficial for us. This is what motivates us towards these things and why it feels like we can never really escape their allure. It's by design. But what happens when these things that were supposed to be special and rare are now everywhere? You can just buy a hot girl off the streets if you want. You can have more types of sugary food than your brain knows what the fuck to do with. You have all types of different video games that lets you experience all types of different fantasies that your brain would have never gotten otherwise. Listen to me very carefully when I say this. 90% of the things that are out there are built for getting you addicted to your most basic impulses and then profiting off of them. The reason why we get addicted to this shit is because our brain still thinks shit like sex, sugary food, and an adventurous lifestyle are scarce experiences, when in reality it's everywhere that you look. That's why young men especially can fall into the sad reality of mindless dopamine release of these activities, which in turn distract them from living a productive and meaningful life. If you're a young guy or someone who struggles with controlling their screen time, understand that life is already hard enough as it is, especially if you're a man. Past the age of 20, the world will spit in your face if you don't have anything that can generate value for you and those around you. As I'm going into my mid-20s, the more I'm starting to realize that the things that bring you the most fulfillment in life are the basic 80-20s. Good physical and mental health, finding meaning through your work, having a good social circle and a partner. These things take time to do properly, and your brain rewards you for hitting milestones on this journey. Now, why am I telling you all this? Because for people that are struggling with gaming addiction, they're not even at the fucking start line. Forget trying to aspire for these long-term goals. The first step is realizing the painful regret you're going to end up living through if you keep going down this route. Another problem with having too much time on your hands is that it puts you in the loop of predictably mid activities, especially when it comes to League. We all know that this game is going to go to shit after a few hours of playing it. Especially, there's no way you're having fun after your third hour of playing League of Legends. Shit like watching anime, porn, shows, and esports. Everything sort of dulls out after a little bit. It's sort of like the law of diminishing returns. This is because at this level in your life, you can't really experience the finer things in life yet. You can't just book a trip to Santorini. You can't just buy a new car and race down the highway. You can't just have a solid 9 out of 10 dressed in lingerie come over to your house when you're feeling bored. The pleasures that you're sinking your time into isn't all that, guys. They're mid as fuck. They sort of start to blend together in a haze after enough years of binging in them. This is the type of shit that I'm trying to save you guys from, because until I found things to focus on in my mid-20s, my life was also just a dull haze of league, sex, and schoolwork. It's in this dull and boring phase where the thrill and electricity of being the main character in a crazy virtual reality is the most seductive. Most people lose themselves to grinding away on games like League, either convinced that they have a higher calling of becoming the next fucking faker or something, or simply losing themselves in a mindless frenzy of escapism. When I look back to my earlier years, it really is like living like a zombie. So many years of my life simply wasted because I was indulging in mid-ass pleasures that I can't even remember after a few hours. So now that you made it this far into the video and learned all about the dangers of having too much time on your fucking hands, what do we do from here? How do you ensure that you can actually lead a productive and fulfilling life while still enjoying your video games? Because I'll never stop playing video games. Abstinence might work for some people, especially at the start, but most times people can have a healthy dosage, anywhere from like 30 minutes to 3 hours a day, without completely fucking up their own lives. So now that you have a good idea about the dangers of not having shit to do, what do we do from here? Simple. Get busy. The more I experience life and hang around people that have done better than me, all of them have something that they want to contribute to mankind. It gives them power, direction, and stability, and makes them impossible to distract. For me, making these videos and helping people with their gaming addictions is something that I resonate very strongly with. I've struggled terribly with gaming addiction in the past, and I made it my life's mission to help as many people as I possibly can. Now, I know what some of you are thinking.
Raybees, I'm just training to be a pro player, bro. I'm just practicing to become the next keeper, bro. I'll just grind away for 8 hours a day and I'll finally achieve my dreams, become a pro player and make millions.
Well, good luck, because you basically have a 2-year timer on you if you want to be pro. I already broke down the details of that in this video, so go check it out. I don't feel like beating a dead horse here. And don't even get me started on becoming a streamer. I don't even have a concrete blueprint on how anybody's supposed to achieve that level of fame and fortune. Either be funny, get lucky, or have big titties or something, I don't know. Either way, most streamers are good players in their own right. So again, you have a 3 to 4 year time window to get really good, or it's just a waste of time. And you could be using that time to be working on something else instead. If you guys want more info on why it's a pitfall to try and become a pro player, click on the top right and watch this video. Now that I've crushed your justification for addiction, what do we do from here? Now, this part is really hard because even people that want to make change struggle on finding something that actually fits the same high of playing video games. They go out into the real world to try and replicate the highs, and they fail miserably, and they just rebound straight back into video games. And this is their mistake. Understand that the shit you experience from video games are unnaturally addictive. You get addicted to them because they cannot be found anywhere else. So a funny catch-22 that some of my clients fall into when they try to quit video games is that they want to like go into nature and go out hiking and stuff, but then a week later they relapse because they're just bored. They say nature is too boring and try to go to something like a run club, but in a few weeks they relapse again and then they go back to gaming. And this is the first and most important lesson I have for you guys. You will never ever replace the high that you get from playing video games with something else in real life. That's the whole point of video games. What you should be trying to do is to lower the amount of exposure slowly but surely, and then replace it with something less intense and more sustainable, like real life stuff. Accepting the fact that your life will never see the crazy highs of mechanically uploading someone in League or finishing the secret ending in Cyberpunk is the first and foremost important step that you need to make in order to start your recovery journey. Without acknowledging that fact, watching these videos and even taking them seriously to try and improve your relationship with gaming will be for absolutely nothing. I know that some of y'all have genuinely no idea what to do with the time you spend playing games. It's hard, especially if you're convinced that you were going to be a pro player or a streamer and I just backhanded you with a dose of reality. As someone who spent 12 years and roughly 20,000 hours trying to get to Diamond, I can confidently say that if I took the same time, energy, and perseverance and put that into literally anything else, I'd be a fucking multi-millionaire right now. Throw yourself at life and figure out the things that you're good at. If you think you're a loser that sucks at everything, then do something you suck less at. Throw yourself at figuring out the game that is life, and your brain will reward you with fulfillment and self-respect. And I'm telling you, those are some of the best in-game rewards out there. That's it from me in this video, guys. Hopefully I've outlined a plan for you guys going forward. If you feel like you have too much time in your hands and you would like to redirect that doing something else instead of just wasting it away on gaming. If you guys want personalized one-on-one coaching to help with your own gaming addiction, join my Discord and hit me up. I'll leave my League Addiction playlist for more videos like this if you guys are interested. And remember, improving your relationship with gaming is actually a lot easier than people make it out to be. Just follow me and I'll show you how.